Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
You're listening to TFG Cricket.
Hello guys, welcome to the TFG Sports Podcast. This is the cricket edition and yes, we are back. We'll be available on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher and all other podcasting platforms. With me joining is Vivek Krishna and we'll be talking about, we were having this discussion yesterday ki IPL hoga ki nahi. And we got this news that Lakshmipati Balaji has signed as a bowling coach for KKR.
Yeah, but still there is no guarantee that the IPL will go ahead. Yes, Lakshmipati is in. And
was it surprising?
I don't know. Only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But look, as we have seen in the IPL or any other T20 league, you pick those who've been with you for a long time. And this bloke has been there since, I think, 2012, if I'm not correct. They ended up winning the championship. And he even played the 2013 season. So he's been around with the camp. He knows, like Venki Mysore pointed out. And I wouldn't say a great replacement for Wasim, but it is what it is, and you have to cope up. I think what Balaji will bring in here is loads of experience.
But he will be a player come coach? Or
No, boss, only Misbah can play till 42-43 and Brad Hogg 45. Lakshmipati, if you tell him, he'll have this big smile after hitting Shoaib Akhtar for a 6, and the entire Pakistan camp was laughing, and I remember that scene very well. But again, coming back to this KKR signing of Lakshmipati, I think like I said, look, he's going to get in some experience because he knows all these guys and because he's also the coach of Tamil Nadu. I think this is his first season, full-time bowling coach. He's been doing very well. So he is coming in with some experience also. And what happens, Nikhil, when you have an Indian coach is, you know all these boys. You know them since under-19, A grade, all these teams, and you get accustomed to their bowling and their body language, their attitude, their approach to the game. And I mean, it's never easy for a foreign coach, to number one, adapt to the conditions, and then, to gel with the blokes. It's never easy. Wasim obviously was, I think he's been there for a long time, and because of the pure stature, man. I mean, you look at the caliber, you look at the numbers, and you're like, okay, mind-boggling. But that's Wasim. You really can't compare him with anybody else. But
Balaji has a very good stint in IPL in terms of economy rate. He actually, handles down the run.
For sure. I mean, yes. But I think the only blemish probably that will go down in his IPL career was Ambati Raidu hitting him for a clean 6 at the Heat. And I remember that match. I mean, if you would have told me Balaji would get tonked over mid-wicket, and that too by somebody who's as diminutive as Ambati Raidu, I would have said, no man, you're kidding me. But that happened. I have obviously my own set of theories as to why that happened. Many will not believe me, but again, we have to move on. And I think that aside, he's got a very cool head on his shoulders. I'm not too sure about marshalling troops, but what I can tell you is he's a sane guy, man. You look at him, he doesn't carry too much fuss around him. He's a very simple, he's got a simple approach, and I think, like I said, he's a likable guy, and more than anything, you need somebody who's very affable in nature and not somebody who's a little boorish. You need such people around the camp, and that automatically, pervades the entire, the dressing room, and that develops into a great atmosphere. So we'll see what he has to deliver.
Vivek,
but I'm not too sure about this IPL hoga nahi hoga. We'll have to wait and see. We can obviously do all our preparations, and I hope it really kicks off. But
I'll tell you what, this is what I feel, ki such kind of changes like Wasim Akram going and Balaji coming in, such kind of high profile changes will be seen across teams because of one, Indian cricket is going through some major reforms, surgical strikes, and then there is demonetization.
Obviously the Supreme Court is giving the BCCI a hard time, and Anurag Thakur is out, Ajay Shirke is gone. There is a talk that Saurav Ganguly might be the one, and I think that will be a fantastic move. I mean, if you just put I mean, like I said, always, ever since this virus kind of captured our sport, our beautiful sport, it was only between a bat and a ball, and then it became far too commercial. And obviously, you see a lot of greedy people getting in, and man, get rid of all that. So I just need somebody as pure as Saurav Ganguly to govern, to chair, and you and I think we'll stand in good stead.
Forget about the international matches, but even if we compare IPL to Big Bash League has so much of cricket in it. Okay, there is so less of drama and entertainment, whereas IPL...
And that's where I believe after this... intervention by the Supreme Court, the likes of Shilpa Shetty, Preeti Zinta, whoever they are, I don't care. I mean, they'll have very little space in that 22 yards. And that's how it should be.
Yeah,
I don't care what happens after 3 hours of play. You're free to do what you want. And that's not... we shouldn't be bothering about all that. But when it comes to only cricket and only action, and I hate the term when you say marry cricket and entertainment, that sucks. No, you can't say that and get away time and again. We have been repeating that for almost 10 years now, and that's an absolute disaster of a cliche. So you just chuck that off and get on with the big game and business. That's all.
Okay, that's some heated words from Vivek Krishnan over there. But we'll have a separate dedicated episodes on what BCCI reforms is all about.
For sure.
How it is taking place.
We also need time, Nikhil, to prepare.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's so
everything is coming
and
out as a shocker to everybody who is involved in Indian cricket.
It is. Yeah, and it's getting far too political for us to comment also. We probably need to hire a few lawyers, Nikhil, and then maybe have a good chat with them.
Totally. So now, basically the structure of this podcast will move from one major topic that we'll discuss, which we discussed right now as Lakshmipati Balaji as a coach for KKR, and we'll move on to fantasy 11, the probables of all the matches that are happening around the world. Now, we are sticking to BBL, Big Bash League, and Scorchers are taking on Heat.
That's right.
Okay. Big Bash League has been a super success till now for us. A lot of our teams are performing very good. We personally are winning, a lot of games over there.
We obviously can't disclose how much money it's
we are very sure that a lot of people who are fans who are following us are winning as well. But please make this thing in mind that our teams are mainly for a 10-player or a 5-player games. Okay, these are not for 5,000, 10,000 player games.
Not the Matka, not the Grand, not the Bumper.
Yes. Yeah. So it's the last game for David Willey, huh?
That's right. He'll be coming to India.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Sunday, Jan 15th, we have obviously England-India ODI series is starting. I think the first one there is in Pune, so obviously this guy will be with the team. He's their leading bowler, swing bowler. So he's going to be there. Owen Morgan is going to be there, obviously the skipper. So you will see some changes. Perth Scorchers have already made a like-for-like replacement, getting in another Englishman in Tim Bresnan. So that's another great replacement. I think Ashton Agar is also coming back.
Yes.
Initially, he was released from the squad because he was featuring in the Australian Test match team.
Yes.
Unfortunately, didn't make the cut. Nathan Lyon and Stephen O'Keefe ended up as the two spinners.
Listeners should keep this thing in mind that a lot of the players will be, traveling. Like English players will be traveling to India. There are a lot of Australian players who are getting picked up for the third match against Australia.
Some will go to South Africa.
Yeah. So just keep these things in mind and keep track of who are traveling. That's a good tip for fantasy players.
Or just in case if you think you're too lazy, you can obviously dial up, write, abuse, whatever you want to do. At the end of the day, information is gold.
Yeah. There's some issue with Chris Lynn.
Yeah, man, I saw him. He got injured. I think he just fell on his shoulder, attempting a very, very difficult catch. And this happened at the Gabba. And I'm not too sure how sore it is, okay? Because we haven't heard anything from the camp, nothing from the physiotherapist, nothing from the fitness trainer. We'll have to wait and see, how that pans out. And because he's such a marquee player, Nikhil, you don't want to invest about 8 to 10 crores. I'm talking about virtual money, ladies and gentlemen, and then to realize that he's not going to take the field because that's a huge blow, and there is no substitution. So kindly monitor his situation. Obviously, you'll have to read a lot of reports and follow Twitter, Facebook, whatever is required. And we're talking about the other, I think David Willey, before he signs off, Nikhil, I think he has to feature in the team.
Okay.
And so is the case with Samuel Badri, who's been he just keeps getting better and better every game. And talk about the all-round slot. You can't look elsewhere but Mitchell Marsh. He's been one handy contributor with both bat and ball. So you pick him as well. I'm a little concerned about his brother's form, Sean Marsh's form. He's been very, very scratchy.
We picked him.
Three matches. Because if you just go down the history, last, let's say, 7 to 8 years of T20 cricket, and if you're talking about top 10 batsmen, this guy is going to be right up there. And that's why it baffles me a great deal, because 3 games, yes, you're coming out of an injury, kind of an hibernation also. So I don't know. It's difficult. But look, he's a very, very sweet timer of the ball. And pick him, not pick him, I don't know. It's a very close call, because at the end of the day, you have somebody at the other end in Michael Klinger, who's been doing very well, going hammer and tongs. And so you have a lot of options. But I think everything at the end of the day boils down to current form and numbers. Captain, vice captain, like always, we're going to take our time, and obviously before good 2-3 hours prior to the game, we're going to share it.
So can you just name the probable 11?
Probable 11 for you're talking about the probable 11 or the fantasy 11?
Fantasy 11.
Fantasy 11.
Yeah,
okay.
fantasy
So fantasy 11 has to be David Willey. There has to be Ashton Turner. Keeper, I think I wouldn't pick Whiteman, because we saw Jamie Pearson go all guns blazing at Brisbane a few days ago.
Even I was surprised that some of players in my my room, they were having Jamie Pearson as a captain.
Oh well, they must have read our stuff. I wrote this a month ago, and I said, look out for this guy, and that's what we do, right? So batsman, obviously, like I said, one slot remains, that is Chris Lynn. I don't know. You'll have to. But if there is a replacement, Nikhil, somebody like an Alex Ross, who's been a wonderful second fiddle player, I would put him in that category. Brendan McCullum obviously is a front runner. So that's our 7-8. I think for sure players. Others obviously revolved around several things like budget, permutation, combinations, injuries, ground conditions, so many of those.
Yeah, the captain and vice captain also depends upon whether Chris Lynn is playing or not.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, so that was our fantasy 11. Yeah. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to us. We'll be here on YouTube. You can like, subscribe, and share this channel. Till then, have a good time.
Our podcasts bring all the boys to the yard, and damn right, they're better than yours. But you don't need to stand outside in the yard. Just follow IVM Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We might be on Tinder too. Just go ahead and swipe right.